Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. Today I'm going to show you how you can control an infestation of fungus gnats if they show up in your indoor seed starts. This also works in a greenhouse. The whole key to fungus gnats, and they look like tiny fruit flies flying around. They lay eggs on your soil. The larvae bury into the soil. They eat your plant's roots. They cause a huge problem. There's no natural predators inside. There's no natural predators really in a greenhouse, so fungus gnats can take over and they're devastating. So you do want to prevent them. I'm going to show you how to use mosquito bits to control an infestation once you have an outbreak. First thing you want to do, linked in the video will be, linked in the video description will be a video on how do you use boiling water in your seed starting mix. I always recommend putting boiling water to saturate your seed starting mix. That will kill off any fungus gnat eggs. Fungus gnat eggs tend to be in peat moss, and it shows up in all different products. It's not a poor quality product. That's just the nature. The eggs can last a long time. So once you put in some moisture, put them under the grow lights, the eggs hatch. So if you use boiling water, you kill off a lot of the fungus gnat eggs, if not all of them. You kill off any kind of spores. You really do want a sterile starting mix to start. But sometimes removing the plants in and out, something doesn't work, the water wasn't hot enough, you get an infestation. Soon as you see a couple of fungus gnats flying around, you could do this. I do recommend doing this preventatively also, but you can wait. You don't have to overdo it. So let's just say things are going good for a while, the plants look pretty good, and then all of a sudden I see the fungus gnats flying around. I can see them crawling on here. The mosquito bits don't kill off the adults. The adults sometimes you can use a spray, but the problem is you have eggs and larvae and adults all at the same time. If you kill off the larvae, this is what this does, then eventually there's no more adults. It's real easy to use. It can be used for organic gardening. It's just basic mosquito bits, and you can see, let me bring it up here, make sure it's in. It even says control fungus gnats. Now, let me see if I can get the spoon out of there. This is a little bit of overkill too. You could use less, but we really want to control these. So you're taking about a teaspoon that looks like about that much. You can certainly use a little bit more. This is going to sit in the bottom of your seed starting tray. I'll show you how to do it in a second. And every time you water, some of the bacteria, I'm going to show you what it's called, because I can't pronounce it, Bacillus Thuringiensis something, or for short BTI. This is a bacteria found in soil that scientists learn if the larvae come in contact with it, it just doesn't let them to develop and it kills them off. So every time you water, you know you're going to have some of this in there. You could use a little bit more if you want. It's going to take 5-7 days for you to notice a difference, but you just put this in there, let it float around. This can sometimes mold a little bit, but every time you water, you're going to be getting some of that bacteria, the BTI, mixed into the water. It's going to get absorbed into the soil, and it's going to kill off any of the larvae. So you could do this, put in the teaspoon like I just showed you. And again, let me show you the amount. You don't have to go overkill with this. Just something like that, a flat teaspoon. And this will last for several waterings. It's probably good for at least, 10 to 14 days, and then maybe you could put in some more. The idea of putting it in early is you're just getting the BTI through your soil. In case any eggs are around or any fungus gnats show up, it's going to kill them off. Or you could do this when the infestation shows up. It's really up to you. And you would just do it exactly as I showed you, maybe a little bit more. After a week, put in a little bit more. You really want to get this under control. Later on, you could rinse out the pieces that are floating around in there. They can again get a little bit moldy. They can get a little bit of white fungus on there, just the nature of the product that they're using, but it's not going to hurt anything. I also want to show you how to treat your house plants, or maybe you're growing peppers or vegetables in larger containers and you don't really have a lot of flats. The setup I showed you for the flats works well, and you are again just putting in the mosquito bits and you're letting them sit, and you just keep watering, and eventually the BTI gets to the plant. If you're going to use this method, you could use a plain old flat foil tray. I'm going to put in a little bit more. You know, a good amount, something like that. Because I'm going to add the water in now, and what you're doing is you're just making a nice pool of water with the bacteria in there. And you're going to want to wait, I don't know, maybe an hour or something like that. Just let the water go through the bits and really kind of spread the bacteria around, the good bacteria. What you're going to do next is you're going to take your plant, let me spin over here, and maybe it's a gallon container or any kind of container, or you're just growing a couple plants like this. Since they're not sitting in a flat, or your gallon containers are maybe sitting on a shelf, you then just set the container in there and let it absorb the water up that way. But I just wanted to be clear that after you put the bits in, you do want to wait a good hour for everything to kind of get dissolved and distributed through the water, and then you put your plants in. You want to put your plants in to the solution when it's pretty dry, like this was already watered. So putting a watered plant into the water, nothing's really good at absorbing there. So once the plants, the starting mix, gets that light color on top, dries out, you can do this, soak them in, and that's going to help control the fungus gnats. But I like this because it's really can be used as a preventative, just mixing it regularly with your waterings, and that will take care of problems. Or you can use a little bit more if you see the infestation. Real quick, if you see it in a couple of plants, like I have 5 shelves here, you're going to have to do all of them. So sometimes prevention is the best. Just set your flats up with this, put it in there, kills off any issues, you don't need to worry about it. But once you see the fungus gnats flying around, you're going to really have to treat all your trays. Now you don't have to kill them off 100%. You can really reduce the population. As these get bigger, they get outside, they're going to be perfectly fine. As the plants get larger, grow bigger roots, the fungus gnats are more of an issue and annoyance for us than actually damage to the plants. But it's when your plants are small and just germinating that the fungus gnat larvae eating the roots can cause the most problem. Again, up close, this is what you're looking for. Any brand works, and you're looking for it to have the active ingredient BTI in there. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com, and please subscribe. I'll show you how to grow indoors, transplant the plants outdoors, take care of problems outside, and just how to have a lot of fun growing your vegetables. Thanks for watching.